So the Tottenham team news for tomorrow: Heung-min Son is back from suspension, having missed the opening two Premier League games against Aston Villa and Manchester City. Dele Alli is back in training, although it does have a slim chance of returning because Pochettino always wants every player at 100%, and rightly so. Tanguy Ndombele is actually suffering a thigh strain in training, so he is definitely out for the game. Juan Foyth is back from suspension, but he is currently continuing rehabilitation for his ankle. He's expected to be back mid to late September. And Ryan Sessegnon, he is also continuing rehabilitation for his hamstring. That injury was ongoing from Fulham. So the team news for Newcastle United: forward Joe Linton is fit despite a knock to his hip against Norwich last week at Carrow Road. Alan St Maximin is expected to feature after missing the defeat at Norwich at Carrow Road. Andy Carroll and Dwight Gow are still out. So Pochettino seems fairly happy going into this game. Obviously Tottenham have won one and drawn one in the opening two Premier League games, so let's hope that we can make that 2 wins from 3 tomorrow. Now Pochettino said the following in his press conference: "I feel so happy because we're competitive, and that's the most important thing. Playing not our best, you are capable of playing a team like Manchester City and taking 1 point. It's very positive, and it's very early on in the season to see what's going to happen. I'm very positive and optimistic always, and of course happy in the way we started." So he's very, very happy that we've got 4 points from the opening 2 games, and rightly so. There won't be many teams this season to get a point at the Etihad Stadium. So Steve Bruce was appointed in the summer for Newcastle United. He's played 2 Premier League games. He's lost both of them so far as Newcastle boss. He said the following in his press conference: "I think I'm looking forward to my first trip to Tottenham's new ground more than the Toon Army. Tottenham are a very, very good side, one of the best in Europe. We're under no illusions as to how difficult it will be, but hopefully it's just the right type of game for us. We know we'll have to play very well to get anything at all, far better than we did last week." So here are some interesting facts and stats between Tottenham and Newcastle. Now, the first one: Harry Kane has scored in just 2 of his 8 games that he's played against Newcastle United. Can he do it tomorrow? Now, the sides have not drawn in the last 21 matches when Tottenham have played at home. They have resulted in Tottenham winning 13 of them and Newcastle winning 8 of them. So I certainly wouldn't be betting on a draw. I would definitely be betting on a Tottenham win this time around. Now, I absolutely love this stat. Mauricio Pochettino's win ratio of 66% in home league matches is the best of any Spurs manager in our history. As I said earlier, Newcastle have lost their opening 2 Premier League games this season, but Newcastle have started a Premier League season with 2 defeats for the 3rd time out of the last 4 seasons. Another Newcastle stat: Newcastle have lost 12 consecutive league away games against established top 6 opponents, and that was since a 2-2 draw at Liverpool in April 2016. Now, Tottenham have only lost 1 of their last 10 Premier League home games. That actually includes a 1-0 win against Newcastle United at Wembley back in February. Christian Eriksen is just 1 goal away from scoring his 50th goal for Tottenham in the Premier League. Christian Eriksen is currently the 5th highest goal scorer for Tottenham in the Premier League. The top 4 for us at the moment is Harry Kane with 127 Premier League goals. Then you've got Teddy Sheringham on 97, Jermaine Defoe on 91 and Robbie Keane on 91. So Eriksen is currently on 49, so 1 more for his 50th. Now, Premier League referee Mike Dean will actually take charge for this game, Tottenham v Newcastle. Now, the last time Mike Dean refereed a Tottenham match was away at Burnley last season, when Pochettino and Mike Dean exchanged a lot of words after the match. So what sort of reception do you think that Mike Dean will get at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow? Newcastle United have only won 3 of their last 21 Premier League games in London against London clubs. Now, what an interesting stat this is. Newcastle have scored 73 Premier League goals against Tottenham in their history. Of course, the Premier League started in the 92-93 season, but we didn't play them until the 93-94 season because they were in Division 1 at the time. And they have scored 73 goals against Tottenham. That is more than they have scored against any Premier League team. So since Newcastle United beat Tottenham 5-1 at St James's Park on the final day of the 15-16 season, Spurs have gone on to win 4 consecutive league matches against them. So since the Premier League started in 1992-93 season, Tottenham have actually averaged 1.49 goals per match. That's nearly 1.5 goals a game. Newcastle have averaged 1.36 per game. So Tottenham and Newcastle have actually met 160 times through their long history. Tottenham have actually won 70 matches, Newcastle have won 58, and there have been 32 draws. That is in league competition, FA Cup, Charity Shield and the League Cup. Now, I absolutely love this stat. In Premier League history, Tottenham have won the most Premier League games when Hugo Lloris has been playing. That is 142 occasions. Whenever Hugo Lloris has been playing, we have won the most matches. Now, fourth on the list is Christian Eriksen, 119 matches. Actually, joint fourth with Eriksen is Jan Vertonghen, 119 matches. And ranking 8th at the moment is Harry Kane, 107 matches. So when the likes of Hugo Lloris, Eriksen, Jan Vertonghen and Harry Kane are playing, we win matches. So the bookies are certainly fancying Tottenham to win this match. Now, if we look at William Hill, for a 1-0 is 6-1. 1-0 Tottenham, that is, 6-1. A 2-0 is 24-5. So pretty much odds on there. 2-1 is 15-2. A 3-0 is 13-2. A 3-1 is 10-1. So they're not great odds. They're really fancying Tottenham to win. If you were going to go for 1-0 Newcastle, high odds, 25-1. A 2-0 Newcastle, 55-1. A 2-1 Newcastle, 28-1. A 3-0 Newcastle, 100-1. Now, with betting company Coral, a 1-0 Spurs is 6-1, 2-0 Spurs is 5-1, a 2-1 Spurs is 8-1. If you looked at a Newcastle win, a 1-0 Newcastle 28-1, 2-0 Newcastle 80-1. Wow. So check out those and check out all the other betting companies as well. I've just chosen William Hill and Coral at random. So let's look at the other Premier League results and fixtures. Last night's game, Aston Villa 2, Everton 0. Of course, Aston Villa sealed their first win of the season. Everton, that was their first defeat of the season. Today's games, you've got Norwich v Chelsea. Norwich have won 1, they've lost 1. Chelsea have drawn 1 and lost 1. I actually fancy Norwich to actually get a result here. I really, really do. I don't see that Chelsea are on a good path at the moment, and I think that Norwich might even nick it because they had a great win last week against Newcastle. Now, the 3 p.m. kickoffs today are Brighton v Southampton. I'm going to probably go for a Brighton win. Manchester United v Crystal Palace. I'm going to go for a Man United win. Sheffield United against Leicester. Sheffield United have won 1 and drawn 1 so far. Leicester have drawn both of them. I'm going to probably go for a draw in this match. So I think that Leicester will get their 3rd consecutive draw. Watford v West Ham. Watford are currently bottom of the Premier League, having lost both of their Premier League games so far. West Ham have drawn 1 and lost 1. I think Watford will get their first win of the season. I'm going to go for a Watford win. Then you've got the big one today, Liverpool v Arsenal. They are both teams are the only 2 teams in the Premier League to have won their opening 2 matches. I am going to go for a Liverpool win. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think Liverpool will win. Sunday's games tomorrow is 2 o'clock kickoff is Bournemouth v Manchester City. I'm going to obviously go for a Manchester City win. Tottenham v Newcastle. Obviously, I'm going to go for a Tottenham win. I think Tottenham will win 2-0. That's my prediction. And then you've got Wolves v Burnley. Wolves have drawn both their Premier League games so far. Burnley have won one and lost one. But Wolves really impressed me last year. I think they're a great side, and I think that Wolves will win that game. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, your score predictions for today's Premier League games. But obviously, let me know your score prediction for the Tottenham v Newcastle match tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.